we've seen many cars hit that curb when they come around, and they hit the curb and bounce off.
The roundabout at the intersection of Detroit and Byrne in South Toledo has become a hot spot for accidents. Now, back in 2021, we reported a driver taking the roundabout and drove into a home. And now people on the street telling us since issues continue to this day. Now, our Michael Sandlin is live at the intersection with more. Michael, what does the most recent damage, you can see behind you, look like?
Tatiana, check this out. This is the latest trail of destruction caused by a driver pulling through that roundabout and going into these neighbors' yards. In fact, check this out. There's still a Nissan decal in this one. Now neighbors are saying if something isn't done soon, someone's going to get hurt. Back in 2021, a car flew off the roundabout at Byrne in Detroit and slammed into Scott Stoner's home.
I immediately came home and seen what happened. Yeah, it was pretty devastating.
And then only a few months later, it was hit again. Today, the house sits empty, left half renovated. But the neighbors that live just a few doors down say the traffic cutting through the yards hasn't stopped.
There's been at least 5 accidents because they say they can't negotiate the curb. But if they're going 50 miles an hour, they wouldn't have any problem negotiating that curb.
That's Denise Needing, a longtime Detroit Avenue local. She says since the roundabout has come in, the accidents have only increased, saying cars continue to fly through her front yard. She's seen an accident as recently as a few nights ago, just another addition to the list of damage.
That fence has been knocked down 3 times since last summer. I feel sorry for that guy that owns the place.
But not everyone dislikes the roundabout in the neighborhood. Scott Yarnell with Earnest Brew Works says despite what neighbors say, he actually thinks it's helped traffic.
I love it. I do. I know if you lived immediately around here, you might not like it because it cuts in your driveway and stuff. But we were here before the roundabout, and I would just hear tires screeching, people just come to a halt because the light would turn yellow, and they were really flying down this road.
But the damage hasn't been missed by South Toledo's councilman, Matt Cherry. Cherry says the problem isn't the roundabout, it's the drivers.
I certainly think it's an effective roundabout. The problem we have is that traffic accidents and people's driving habits, not only in the city of Toledo, but unfortunately all over the country, have got out of control.
Cherry says they can't put up a barrier in front of the house because if someone was to hit it and die, the city would be liable. But he's been working with the city to find ways to slow drivers down.
Whether it be rumble strips or things of that nature, just to make people, aware that people just need to slow down and people need to start paying attention.
Councilman Cherry added to me that he plans on speaking to TPD later today, asking them to enforce more speeding tickets in this area to try to stop these out-of-control drivers. Reporting in South Toledo, Michael Saylor for WTOL 11.